Hey, you guys. Welcome to Thursday night, the Thursday night sit. Regardless of whether this is Friday morning for you, Thursday at some other time, or even another day in another year, in another on another planet, in another solar system, in another galaxy, or maybe you're on a planet that's not in a solar system, orbiting a neutron star. Whatever. You are welcome to meditation tonight. I got to remember not to move like that because it fucks up the focus. But welcome. We're going to do our usual hour-long sit. If you're not ready to sit for an hour, you're welcome to sit for, just part of it. But the good part usually comes in the last half. The first half is usually kind of the setup for the stuff that happens in the end. So if anyone would like to assure me that the video and audio is all working correct, then I will get going here. So give me a thumbs up about the video and audio. Awesome, thank you. There's nothing more annoying than doing a whole meditation and realizing that it didn't go out. Let's begin meditating then. Remember, when we meditate, I leave my glasses on because I'm monitoring YouTube and so on, but if you have glasses, take them off. Also, I always make sure all my devices are on Do Not Disturb. The phone is on Do Not Disturb. The computer's on Do Not Disturb. The 15 iPads and 3 other phones and computers in the other room are on Do Not Disturb. If you're one of those archaic fossils that has a landline, that thing's turned off. Turn off all the messages, all the badges, all the notifications, all of it. Turn it off and throw the devices in the swimming pool so that you will be free from their curse forever. And from there, then we set up our meditation. And so, as usual, I want you to set up your posture. Posture begins with a nice curve in your lower back, so you're sitting nice and upright. Make sure that lower back feels good, feels pleasant, the way you have this kind of natural, beautiful curve in your spine that feels just right. Top of your head is almost like lifting straight upward. And just move yourself back and forth and front to back and maybe in a little circle so that you get to that place where we all have it, where the spine is just naturally balanced. There's a spot where even though your muscles are holding it up, all the muscles are kind of just perfectly balanced. So the spine is upright in a way that takes the least amount of effort. It's really nice when we get that spot. I'm moving the camera around here for a minute, so never mind that. So once you get your spine just right, tuck your chin just a little bit so it's not up, it's not out. Chin is tucked, getting, again, the very top of your head, the highest point. And then let everything else just relax. If you want to, you can have your hands in a mudra like this. Typically, they say put the left one underneath. I'm not sure that matters, but have your hands in that mudra. Now, if you want to do it classically, like I'm okay with you just letting your hands rest in your lap. If you want to do it like Buddhist classic, you actually hold them at navel level like that, kind of, you know how if you were attaching a shelf to the wall, the shelf just sticks right to the wall. You're kind of sticking this mudra to your belly like this, okay, up, and holding it there. And so that's a little above your lap. And but not much. It's still below. It's like right there, but there. What it's trying to get you to do is still have a little bit of tension, holding it up in your arms, and that's supposed to make you a little more alert when you're meditating. Does it do that or not? I don't know, but that would be classic. But if you just want to do the thing of resting your hands in your lap, that's completely fine. Okay. And remember, usually I give the instruction to like sit like a mountain. But just like last week, this week I'm going to say, I want you to sit like an ocean. So instead of that immovability of the mountain, what we're looking for here is this kind of, nothing's more relaxed in a way than the ocean, right? It's completely at rest, and yet it's also incredibly energized and powerful. Right? It's got tremendous energy, it's got tremendous power, and there's a quality of boundarylessness to it, right? It's a quality of it just goes over the horizon, and in a way, we don't know how far it goes. I mean, of course, we could look it up on a map or whatever, but this is a metaphor, folks, just like a mountain isn't really immovable, but metaphorically immovable. I want you to sit like an ocean, tremendous openness, boundarylessness, relaxation, but also power, energy. So feel that energy and power together with the relaxation and openness. So sit like an ocean. Sit like water, tremendously receptive. Utterly receptive and utterly irresistible, right? At the same time. So just feel that. And then let's begin by setting our intention. Why are you meditating? I don't mean today necessarily, but in an overall sense. Why meditate at all? Think about it. Get clear. Why am I doing this? And it helps. It helps you to so that this isn't just some kind of mechanical meditation that you're doing because of some reason you've forgotten, but instead, why are you sitting? What is the point? And then what I want you to do is remember your Buddha nature. Remember the idea that we all are already completely enlightened. There's no way that enlightenment could ever get made more complete. It's already complete. There's no way that enlightenment could be made more perfect. It's already perfect. There's no way that enlightenment could be made better or even cultivated. You can't cultivate it because it's already finished. And that enlightenment is already there as your true nature. And it's just, if you're not noticing that right now, it's just because it's kind of mucked over. It's covered up with some uh, delusive thinking, lots of busyness, lots of TikTok, lots of Netflix. There's just a lot of kind of gunk in the way. But that gunk is just a veneer. Underneath that is a already existing, fully awake Buddha. That's what's really aware right now. And so I want you to tune in to that already existing Buddha level liberation, awakening, total awakeness. Feel the awakeness, the alertness, the crispness and clarity of bright, shining, radiant Buddha level awakeness. Feel that now, bring it up. Furthermore, Buddhas are wise. That Buddha nature has wisdom, prajna, right? Prajna, the sacred wisdom. And this sacred wisdom is part of our already existing Buddha nature. Prajna paramita, the highest wisdom. So this is not something we learn. Highest wisdom is something, it's not facts or figures or information. It's the insight quality of our Buddha nature. So that's already there. So not only feel the clarity and wakefulness of your Buddha nature, but feel the wisdom, the insight, wisdom, the perfect wisdom. It's not knowledge, it's not things you know, it's deep, deep, deep wisdom. Sacred wisdom, perfect wisdom. And then notice your Buddha level love and compassion. Already there, completely there, is a kind of willingness to relieve the pain, the difficulty, the suffering of other people, other animals, other beings, a connection with everyone, an understanding that all our differences are merely on the surface, but our connections go all the way down to the very bottom. We're all deeply, deeply connected. And that love and kindness and compassion arises directly together with that connection. So bring up that feeling of love and compassion together with the wisdom and the clarity. And as usual, another major factor of this already existing Buddha nature is your confidence. We feel tremendous confidence as the Buddha. What can't the Buddha do? The Buddha can do anything, therefore, we have total confidence, but particularly we have confidence in our meditation, in our awakening, in the fact that we can express these qualities of our already existing perfected Buddha nature. So notice this confidence, feel confidence. And finally, there's a quality of Buddha nature which is playfulness. It's childlike, it has spontaneous playfulness. It's not so serious. And so, on top of all these other qualities, which can sometimes sound so serious, notice that there's playfulness, there's spontaneity, there's a childlike quality, a childlike joy. And just notice that now. Feel that playfulness, that spontaneity, that childlike quality. And just for a few minutes here, I want you to sit with these Buddha nature qualities. Sit feeling and bringing up over and over again, or we could just say recognizing, because it's already within you, recognizing and uh, feeling this wisdom, clarity, joy, and compassion, love, confidence, and playful childlike quality. So I'll just give you a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, to just sit and generate, recognize, notice, uh, dwell in these qualities. Okay, good. Now, let's switch to meditating on breathing. We're going to do this like we normally do using deep belly breathing. So we're going to breathe slowly and very, very deeply with our belly, the belly rising and falling with each in-breath and out-breath. I want you to use the belly as the main object of focus. That's kind of your anchor. And then, but you're also noticing the periphery of the body. You're feeling the breath in every corner of the body, coming in and coming out, rising and falling. You might feel a kind of energy sensation all through the body. So that's kind of the periphery of attention. Center is on the belly, rising and falling very slowly, very deeply. And then the periphery of the body is sort of the periphery of the focus object. Let's work with that now. Each time you find yourself falling into distraction, come back to just noticing this rising and falling breath. But as you go deeper into concentration, allow the out breath to become a little longer and maybe even a little longer. Stay within, of course, your comfort level, but you may notice that that out breath can just go on for a long time. So just let it do that. Now, on that out breath, let go of the belly sensation and instead continue that outward focus, letting it go all the way to all love, vast, spacious awareness. So on the in breath, we're contacting the breathing in the body, feeling the body. But on the out breath, we allow awareness to expand into all of space, and not real physical space, not like the size of your room or something, but let's just say boundaryless space, space with no boundary of any kind. We wouldn't even call it infinite because that's sort of too specific. We just say awareness just opens up into boundaryless space on the out breath. And then on the in breath, we come back to feeling the breath in the body again. Each out breath, awareness expands to fill boundaryless space. And then on the in breath, we notice the breathing in the body, but now allow the awareness to stay utterly vast. If it collapses in, then allow it to go to boundarylessness on the out breath again. But on the in breath now, this boundaryless awareness just notices the breathing, doesn't collapse back in. So it stays boundaryless the whole time and just notices the breathing on the in breath. Now just let go of monitoring the breathing entirely and allow awareness to just stay boundaryless and vast. Now, just like the Buddha nature, awareness is naturally boundaryless and vast. There's nothing you need to do to like push it outwards. Just allow it to be effortlessly boundless and vast. If anything seems to be blocking the way of this boundarylessness, just notice that it's empty. It's just an idea. And instead, allow awareness to be boundaryless. This doesn't mean you'll necessarily know everything that's happening everywhere. That's not the idea. It's just let go of any sense of boundary, and you'll get the sense of awareness being incredibly wide, deep, and boundaryless, while remaining fresh, bright, and clear. So just rest as this ocean of awareness with no boundaries, letting go of any connection with the breath or any connection with meditating on the body or anything at all. This is just awareness, vast awareness, resting in itself. Good. Now notice that there's no effort involved in making awareness aware. Awareness is already aware. This is part of the Buddha nature. It's part of your already existing grounded being, the perfection of your being is that awareness is already aware without any activity, without any cultivation, without any striving. And let this vast awareness investigate and look if there's any center to awareness. See if you can find any home base for awareness. Most of us will start by looking in our eyes or in our head somewhere. But if you look deeply, you won't be able to find any source of awareness. It's not located anywhere. You might have ideas about where it's located or ideas about where it's coming from, but these are completely irrelevant. Ideas about it are irrelevant. When you look in your own experience right now using this already perfect, already clear, bright awareness, notice clearly that this awareness has no source, it has no center that you can find. And keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. Let awareness itself look. Awareness looks for the center of awareness, noticing there is no center of awareness. Keep looking with awareness. Don't get ideas about it. Don't think about it. Just look. Where's the center of awareness? Notice you can't really pin it down. It might even seem to move around. But then when you go to the places it seems to have moved to, it's not there either. Keep looking. Find the center of awareness. The source. Where does it come from? Okay, good. Now, if awareness has no center, it has no source. This means that every spot in awareness is aware. Every spot in awareness is equally aware. It's not coming from any particular place. What I want you to do now is see if awareness can find the sense of anyone doing anything. Have awareness look for a doer and notice that if you think you found one, look a little closer, look a little more specifically, and notice you can't really find one. Awareness is doing itself. There is no doer. But look, at first you'll think, well, I'm doing this. But when you allow awareness to look closely, you can't find a doer. Try it now. Now, I want you to allow awareness to simply be aware. But what I want awareness to be aware of is awareness itself. Allow the vast space to simply notice the vast space. Vast, spacious awareness notices itself. It doesn't need you or the sense of you or the idea of a self or a doer to do anything. Vast, spacious awareness is already aware, it's already perfectly aware, and it simply notices itself. Allow that now. There's no effort involved in this. Awareness has no center, it's already vast, and there is no doer. Awareness is already aware. So we're just allowing awareness, vast, spacious awareness, to just be aware of itself effortlessly. Good. Now, before we end, I want you to come back to these, just allowing awareness to naturally notice the properties of the already existing Buddha, the already existing Buddha nature. So notice the clarity Feel that clarity. Notice the bright, crisp, vivid clarity. Notice the wisdom, the deep, sacred wisdom that is always present. Notice the sense of love and compassion that is everywhere present in this awareness. Notice the sense of confidence, which is not pride or arrogance or overconfidence, but simply a feeling of the ability to be able to do this. A sense of, I got this. And notice the playfulness, the spontaneity, the joy. Allow awareness to notice and experience all of these properties. Feel them radiating throughout the awareness, filling awareness, boundaryless in all directions. Love, playfulness, and spontaneity, confidence, wisdom, clarity. Feel all these properties of the already existing, already perfect Buddha that you already are. Okay, good. Let's end the meditation there now. So feel free to move and stretch. If you want to, stand up, move around, allow your body to feel good, have a drink of water, relax. Notice that nothing has changed with awareness. Awareness is still completely aware on its own, still completely boundless and vast, even as we go about our activities. So what I want to do normally, I talk here for a bit, like a kind of a dharma talk. But what I'd like to do is open it up to questions a little earlier tonight. So go ahead if this was confusing or you have questions about anything that I teach, please go ahead and throw those into the chat window and I will do my best to answer them. Of course, you're also welcome to put comments and remarks in there. Also, I may not remark on your remarks, but it's nice to see them in the chat nevertheless. So go ahead and ask any questions there, and we'll do a short AMA here, and we'll see if I can help you out. I think one of the most important things to remember is that when I'm asking you to do these investigations. For example, last week we looked for the sense of self, or we looked for the mind. I mean, I had you try to find your mind. This week it was like look for where the center of awareness, where is awareness coming from? We also did where is the doer, and so on. When I'm asking you to do these investigations, it is utterly irrelevant what ideas you have about the answer. That's not what we're doing here. It doesn't matter that an answer comes up as an idea in your mind. Just throw that out. What I want you to do is look real time. Look right then in that moment at your own experience. So you're not going in to search memory and concept to find your idea of an answer. Rather, right in the moment you're looking. Right in the moment you're looking. That's how we do that. Okay? So Matt is asking a question about Vipassana and Mahasi style noting, which, by the way, I have not been teaching on this channel for years, but nevertheless, I'll give it a shot. I find when I observe something, it stays solid and I can't see the blips of arisings and passings. Any advice? Just continue to observe. Notice any part of it that's changing in any way. You know, when we're doing that kind of noting, you look for any part of the sensation that's changing in any way, even if it's, quote, solid. Is the solid the same shape continuously? Is each part of the solid feeling the same texture, the same size, the same density, the same, or are any of those things changing? If they're changing, notice that changingness, and that's going to lead you into the arising and passing. Okay, so that's how you do that. Just for everyone else who is listening to this, we're not doing Mahasi noting on this channel, so don't think that that's how you're supposed to do it when we're doing this. Okay, Colin, is there an ideal place for the mind to rest, or thing for awareness to be aware of, so it's less likely to attach or be lost in thought or feeling? Or is it better to be open? The ideal place for the mind to rest is on the mind, meaning the ideal place for awareness to rest is on awareness, which is not a focus object, it's just resting in itself. The desire for a focus object is the desire to be doing. And part of what we're doing here is letting go of the doer, right? So awareness can already be aware of itself. It can already rest in itself by itself. And all you need to do is, if it does start to go to thought, to become lost in it, we just relax out of that. If it does become to attach or become lost in a feeling, we just relax and come out of that, right? That's not a struggle. That's not a technique. It's simply relaxing. Okay? So that's how we work with that. So the ideal place is to have it rest in itself. Vast, spacious awareness just rests in vast, spacious awareness, not particularly noticing or engaging with anything with attention. Attention at that point is not even a concept. Okay? All right, Angela. Bad back day, so I did the meditation lying down. The oceanic experience was profound. Would it be bad to do more laying down meditation? Laying down is fine. It's absolutely a normal, completely appropriate meditation posture, assuming you can stay awake. So as long as you're awake, do it. Sorry, your back is hurting. Ankit, I felt like a jellyfish when I was breathing in and out and focusing on boundaryless awareness. Pretty cool. Yes. Sometimes Shinzen used to call it feeling like amoeboid, like an amoeba, jellyfish quality, right? There's the ideas that we have about the body being like a machine or like a rigid structure are really mainly ideas, and the body has this really interesting jellyfish amoeboid property when you really tune into how it feels. So that's cool. Pretty cool. Heather Moorcroft, loved the ocean metaphor, immediately felt more open and spacious. Yeah, right? Sometimes we sit like a mountain. Sometimes we sit like an ocean. Very, very interesting metaphors. And it's funny, there's a way that we can take these metaphors as being just sort of silly or poetic, but that's only because we're so used to working with what we might think of as the seemingly external, objective reality. And in that case, metaphors may or may not be useful. But this is different because when we're meditating, we're working with our mind. And so in the realm of the mind, metaphors become incredibly powerful, right? Metaphors become incredibly powerful in the mind. So using the ocean metaphor, using the mountain metaphor, when I say I want you to sit like a Buddha, these are important metaphors, and really try to take them on. You'll see it makes a big difference. Chris, when investigation leads to puzzlement, I get frustrated and the mind stirs. I tend to let that go and relinquish the search, which is perhaps laziness. I wonder how effortfully I should investigate. Right? So this is really common. You want to look for an answer with your thinking, and when you can't, especially because oftentimes I'll give you something to search for that seems impossible or paradoxical, like as if it were a koan, like what's the sound of one hand clapping? There's just no logical answer to that question. You can't figure that out with your thinking. And so when that happens, as you're saying, you get puzzled. Thank you for using the verb or the noun puzzlement. Haven't heard that in a while. I love that word. When you get puzzled, you feel frustrated, and then you just give up and kind of sit there. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to keep searching with awareness. So in other words, look now. So it's, let's say there was a pen, okay? See this pen? And I set it over somewhere in the midst of a desk full of a lot of stuff. So here's a desk covered with, keys and candles and cards and spray and notebooks and notepads and more pens and Allen wrenches and all kinds of stuff. But in the midst of all that is a pen. And I said, I want you to look for the pen. It's on the desk somewhere. I want you to find it, like a Where's Waldo kind of thing. It doesn't help to go think about where the pen should be or where you think you want it to be or what you read about the locations of pens. All of that is useless. What helps is to look. Where's Waldo? Look until you find Waldo, or notice you can't find him. So that's what I want you to do. Don't get puzzled and give up and just sit there. Keep looking, because the thing I want you to see is that you can't find these things like a sense of self or the source. And that's the point. Why is that the point? Because you're living your whole life like there is a sense of self. But when I ask you to look for it, you can't find it. Or when you live your whole life like awareness has a center. But if I ask you to look for it, you can't find it. And if you keep doing that, it brings insight, direct insight. Right? That's the Buddha wisdom. That's the prajna. You'll get an insight. But if you try to think about it or get frustrated that you can't find it and think you're doing it wrong and then give up, you won't get any insight. The insight is to look. You look all over the desk. There's no pen there. Oh, there's no pen there. But my whole life, I've been acting like there's a pen there. Oh, right? That's insight. So that's how I want you to do that. Thank you for the question, Chris. Mauricio something Yama. What's that first character, Mauricio? I recognize the second one as mountain. I feel like time passes faster. Is it normal or is it a sign of dullness? Depends. Sometimes it just seems to pass faster. Sometimes you're dull. So only you can answer if you're dull or not, but don't look for time as the indicator. Unless, here's the one way, if the whole meditation passed in kind of a soupy, dark, dream-like quality, that was probably dullness. Remember, I keep saying awareness is very awake. It's crisp, it's clear. Okay, so that's how we tell. Chris, second question, the ocean imagery immediately shifted me to a more refined and awake state. Thank you. Yeah, ocean, these metaphors are great. Edward, is it useful to practice jhana before relaxing into awareness? I find myself falling asleep during the awareness part of the meditation. Don't do that. Don't allow yourself to fall asleep. Sit up straight, open your eyes very wide. If you have to stand up and do the meditation, don't let yourself get sleepy. Drink caffeine, don't let yourself get sleepy. On the other hand, a totally separate question, regardless of whether you're sleepy or not, is it useful to practice jhana? Sure, we're not doing jhana here, but if you've already gone to the trouble to learn how to do jhanas, it does not hurt during the focus part to use jhana focus to get really nice and focused. So in other words, I'm not telling people to go out and learn to do that. But if you've already gone out and learned to do that, it's totally fine to use the, jhana is just nice and concentrated. So using that, it's totally fine. And if it helps you stay awake, great. Laurel, hi Laurel. Laurel says, I don't get frustrated because I can't find it, but because it feels as if I have. I know that it's not, but the illusion persists. Well, when it feels like you found it, look, is it really there? You look carefully, try to pin it down. You'll realize it's just sort of a vague sense of having found it, but you can't actually pin it down. And so that throws you back into, oh, it's not, I haven't actually found it. I have to look more carefully. Okay, so that's how we work with that kind of frustration. Okay, great questions tonight. You guys are really, Mauricio says, Sugiyama, the cedar tree mountain. Very beautiful. Yeah, it's a tree with those 3 lines. Really nice. Tanya, hi Tanya. Tanya says, I find that when I'm in vast open awareness, everything seems to be a bit less sharp, but not in a sleepy way. More like since I'm not focusing on one thing, right? So the quality, so everything equally sharp in a way that doesn't feel as sharp if I were concentrating on one thing. Okay, but still, you will feel a sense of clarity, the brightness or crispness of the awareness will be there. It's not about necessarily the details, okay, but notice that crispness. Vindharma asks a super easy question that I can answer in 30 seconds. How do you know that you're successfully experiencing Rigpa? We could talk about that for hours. But the short version is that awareness won't be located in any one spot. There will be no sense of anyone doing anything. And the tremendous crispness and clarity of the vast expanse will be very apparent. Okay, that's the short answer. All right, folks. Let's switch gears here to the begging for money part of the program. This meditation and the 106 other videos before this is number 107 in the series with SF Dharma Collective. They're brought to you by me and SF Dharma Collective, and we are happy to offer these meditations to the world for free. I love offering them to the world for free. SF Dharma Collective offers them to the world for free. Please enjoy them for free. Share them with people. What I'd love you to do actually is subscribe to this channel and even click the thing where you get the notification when a new meditation is going live, because then it'll just bring you to the meditation. So just enjoy these, share them with your friends, link to them in your social media, all that. Just share it wide because we want to give it away for free. On the other hand, if you would like to donate to me and SF Dharma Collective, you see the link there in the chat window. You can do that now. Pranab is posting those links in the chat window, so you can offer dana or a donation from your heart. Something I'd like to say is that I've been doing these meditations on YouTube together with San Francisco Dharma Collective for almost 2 years now. We started in October 2019, and now here we are, almost the end of July 2021. So it's going on 2 years. But things have changed. Like I moved from the area. Instead of being in Oakland, we moved up to Vallejo. We're quite a bit further away and so on. Plus, we haven't been able to be live in the space at SF Dharma Collective for a really long time, about 1.5 years. And so I want to make an announcement, which is that as of next week is the last one of these videos that I'll do together with SF Dharma Collective for a while. I mean, we're still best friends. I love SF Dharma Collective, but next week will be the last one that I'll do in conjunction for a while, or the regularly in conjunction. And then after that, I'll still be here at the same time and place, same everything, but it will just be me doing it. Okay? So that's a big change that's coming. It's looking like SF Dharma Collective will be able to, open to have space for people to sit at some time soon. I can't wait for that to happen. I love, as I say, everyone at SF Dharma Collective, my friends. And it's interesting, in Hinduism and Buddhism and Asian culture in general, the 108 is like this special sacred number. And so we're getting to the place where next week is 108. And so at that point, that will be all the regularly scheduled weekly meditations I'll do via SF Dharma Collective. And after that, same time, same place, it will just be Michael Taft guiding meditation live on YouTube. And of course, all the other SF Dharma Collective stuff will still be available on the SF Dharma website. There will still be all the teachers. I'll still be on there sometimes. So all is still well. Everyone's happy and healthy. I'm just moving to just, after 108 of these together, and so much time has passed and I'm a little further away physically that I feel like it's time to just begin doing these on my own. On the other hand, coming up soon in August, let me look at the date. I'm looking at my phone here. Sorry, you guys. Is it the 14th? Yes. August 14th, we'll be doing Death Sangha again through SFDC. So you have to sign up for that via Eventbrite because Death Sangha is intense. We do these super grisly, gory, like horror movie meditations on death. And so I don't want people to just run into those on YouTube. So you have to go to the SFDC website and sign up via Eventbrite for Death Sangha. So that's late Saturday night on August 14th. So hopefully you'll join me there. Death Sangha is really powerful, really intense. It's, even though the way we do it is non-traditional, the doing of it is traditional, very traditional. We do non-traditional meditation, but that sort of meditation is a very traditional activity. So come and join me on Death Sangha. Okay. And now what I'd like to do is just meditate for a little while. But remember that I do have a Discord channel where we talk about these guided meditations. Pranab posted the link in the chat and reminded me to talk about that. Join the Discord. Remember the my website, deconstructingyourself.com. Remember the podcast, Deconstructing Yourself. All of these are ways to engage with a bunch of free material that I've got out there in the world. So with that, let's just sit for just a very short time together silently. All right, I'd love to sit together. So let's just do that. Sit like an ocean. All right, good. Thanks for meditating with me tonight. According to Pranab, he checked out that link for Death Song on Eventbrite, and it's not up at the moment when we're doing the live video here, but we'll get that back up. But again, thanks for joining me. I can't wait to see you next week. And in the meantime, keep on meditating. See you then. Bye-bye.